Heyo, Omnidog here, Omnidogs and Omnikittens. Thanks for tuning in to this kind of short video because I'm just talking about one book right now. But it's a book you need to read. Highly recommended by me, Omnidog. This is Inside the Mind of Sherlock Holmes, a recommendation from my good friend Tony from Sweden, who is constantly jamming me up about not reading enough European comics. So, message received, and I'm going to be reading more. Tony. All right. So, let's get into the book. Yes, this is a European book. It is from Titan Comics. There's the ISBN if you need it. Not very expensive. $25. Hardcover. It's a little bit bigger than a standard hardcover. I didn't think I'd actually be doing a size comparison, but let me do one real quick. Here's what a trade paperback looks like compared to it. You're going to be hearing more about Kaiju Score from me in a little bit, like other videos. But yeah, look, it's bigger. And apparently it's way bigger in Europe because everything's better with European comics. Okay, so I'm not even going to try and pronounce these names. Cyril and Benoit. Dahan, Laurent, I think they're French. The Case of the Scandalous Ticket. So check this out. This book is not only fun. No, wait. It's not only interesting, super well written, and very well illustrated. It's fun. Notice I led with fun. It's got a cutout that you open to start with. So you know this book is not only interesting, suspenseful, keeps you engaged the whole time, but it's also fun. And why do we read comics? I want to hear you all say it right now. To have fun. Yeah, this is the best hobby ever. You think people can read stamps, coins, sports cards? No. We read comics and we get to collect them too. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So after Sherlock Holmes is done injecting himself, this is apparently an adaptation from Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. So Sherlock Holmes is, of course, addicted to the 7% solution of a drug. I'm afraid I'll get demonetized if I say it on YouTube. And his dear friend Dr. Watson is there admonishing him. This is where he goes. Oh, see, this is what's cool. Even though this is about his drug habit, it's lavishly illustrated that his brain is getting a rest. Sherlock Holmes, not Dr. Watson. But something happens. They bring in a friend of Dr. Watson's. He can't remember where he's been found on the street. Can't remember how he got there. He's all banged up with a broken collarbone. And here we have the clues of how Sherlock Holmes picks up on things. All he's got is a broken collarbone, and he can't remember where he's been. Friend of Dr. Watson's. But already Sherlock Holmes' mind is racing. And this little red string leads us to all these little paths that the brain of Sherlock Holmes is figuring out. The brain of Sherlock Holmes is figuring out the clues. So, yeah, this is the mind of Sherlock Holmes and how it works. The thread keeps going throughout. And what seems to be just a befuddled older gentleman, I'm sure he's way older than me, good heavens, becomes a fascinating crime for Sherlock Holmes to solve. So we get all kinds of maps to check out and people to interview. I'm telling you, this book is in the running for my book of the year. It is definitely one of my favorite books this year. Now, not only, well, I'm going to save that for a little bit because I want to show you a little bit more, but I don't want to show you too much because then you won't have the satisfaction of watching Sherlock Holmes solve it on his own. The thread continues while he is continuing to interview people with Dr. Watson, and they are finding clue upon clue because Sherlock Holmes is figuring things out. I really dig the art. It's very different, but it's really, really cool. I really dig this art. And the coloring. The coloring changes all the time. It suits the mood. And it's this the art, the coloring, the lettering, all beautiful. So as we're going along, interviewing different people, checking different things out, all with Dr. Watson, who apparently is not on Sherlock Holmes' level of deductive powers, but Watson does help him in his own way. They're figuring things out, and here's two things that are in this book a few times and are part of the fun. Exhibit 1. If you hold, it says, look at this page through the light. If you look through it, you'll see what he's thinking at that exact moment. Now, if I was smart, I would have had a flashlight in here to show you, but unfortunately, I just now thought of it. Just take my word for it that it's cool. Okay, here's what he sees. And that's what he figures out. Now, there's several of these where you hold it up to the light and you figure out what Sherlock Holmes is thinking. We keep going. And then, I don't need a light for this. We see this, and here's our final thread. Cut clean. A nuisance, but nothing that can't be fixed. This says gently curl the right edge of the page to meet the dots. So concentrate here. And here's our thread that's been running throughout the whole book. Uh-oh, what the heck? These creators are pretty cool. You gently fold it and look. And here's our thread repaired by folding it over. You see how he's figured it out. Now, are these gimmicks or are they part of the fun? They're part of the fun. Come on, get on board. This book's a blast. I can't stress enough how much fun I had reading this book, how engaging it was, how much I couldn't wait to see where his Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson went next. Sorry, excuse me. Where Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson went next. It's such fun. And everybody, I highly, highly recommend you read this book. Tony from Sweden, peace and love. You done good on this recommendation. Inside the Mind of Sherlock Holmes from Titan Books by these two people. Okay, I'm going to butcher it, but since people think that's funny, I'm going to try anyway. Cyril Leron and Benoit Dahan. I'm assuming they're French. It was translated from French. And those don't look like Scottish names to me or Welsh names. Those look like they could be, French, I guess. Okay, so peace and love, peace and love. Check this book out. Do yourself a favor and have fun reading it. As always, please give this a like. If you could, subscribe. And, like, subscribe. Oh, and comment. Please feel free to leave a comment and go to Organic Price Books. $2 off with code Omnidog. 5% off shipping 4 more books together with code OmnidogSit. This last one works too, but that's funnier. So I got it to work. So peace and love, peace and love. Be good to each other. Check out my library where I've got almost 800 other videos. And Take care. Be good to each other out there. Peace and love. Peace and love.